He says, so that's why they call him Honky Feet, because he's black and his feet are white, right? I look at him, I said, pretty much. That's why they call old boy Honky Feet. You know what I mean? He got vitiligo. He said, what's vitiligo? I said, man, it's this thing where the skin doesn't get enough pigmentation and the blood cells around that area lose the color of the skin and they go pale. And that's called vitiligo. I didn't know much about vitiligo. I had seen some folks who had it before, but I never met a dude who just had vitiligo in his feet. And so a lot of dudes used to mess with him. They said, say Honky Feet. And I'm like, man, why they calling that dude Honky Feet? And so I started to get down to the origin of it because I felt like it was kind of a disrespectful term, but it was other black dudes who used to call him Honky Feet, so everybody else just called him Honky Feet. Because they said when he got in the shower, one dude who looked at him said, say, man, why that dude go in the shower with his socks on? Because it looked like he had a pair of socks on when he was really naked because he was dark black, normal black from the top of his head all the way to his ankles. Around that area, it gets in like this military, pattern. When you see that digital military camouflage like that, that's kind of like the vitiligo. And it's going like that by his feet. And so his feet just turned white all the way to his toes. It was just pale. And so they call him Honky Feet. And so when he's going in the shower, dude's like, man, why that dude go in the shower with his socks on? They said Honky Feet's like, man, who you talking to, bruh? He said, man, y'all know I got that vitiligo, bruh. Don't play with me behind my vitiligo. It's a skin condition. And the dude said, oh man, my bad. I thought you had socks on. He said, when I'm finished with this shower, strap up. We're going to handle our business. You heard me? So Honky Feet finishes taking his shower. He goes to his bed and the dude goes up to him and says, say Honky Feet, can I holler at you? And he says, yeah, what's up? He said, man, look, I didn't mean no disrespect. I really thought you had socks on. He said, actually, when I was sitting over there by my bunk and you stood up because you had your boxers on, he said, I seen you. I thought you strapped up right now, but that's really just your feet. He said, man, you playing with my feet again. Don't you play with my feet like that. And so old boy's like, look, man, I don't want to fight you, man. It was just a misunderstanding. So a dude tells Honky Feet, look, it ain't gonna be no problem, Honky Feet. I promise you, man, I didn't know that you had vitiligo on your feet. I know what that is. That's my bad. Can we squash that? Honky Feet says, yeah, we can squash that, but don't be playing me behind my skin condition. And dude's like, cool, Honky Feet, no more problem. And so I'm sitting in the prison, man, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this is the craziest thing I ever did see. A dude who got white feet and they call him Honky Feet. And so I'm like, man, I'm not calling that dude Honky Feet. I ain't really mess around with Honky Feet. A lot of people thought Honky Feet was funny, because the way he talked, he had that deep voice and he talked like this. He's like, don't play with me behind my vitiligo. Dudes be like, man, ain't nobody playing with you behind your vitiligo, Honky Feet. And Honky Feet was like, man, I've been dealing with this my whole life. I'm just glad I ain't got it on my face. And dude's like, that's what I'm saying, Honky Feet. You just got it on your feet, man. It's better to be called Honky Feet than Honky Face. And Honky Feet's like, oh, that's true. And they were like, yeah, you think that's funny, huh? So some people got it in their lips, Honky Feet. They call them white. They call them honky lips. They said honky lips. And they had a whole conversation on different parts of people's bodies who got vitiligo. And if they were black and they had the vitiligo, they call them honky lips, honky feet, honky face. And so he shouldn't be crying if they called him Honky Feet. I know this stuff sounds crazy and it might be offensive. If it's offensive, then don't go to prison. And if you don't like prison stories, then don't listen to prison stories. This stuff happens in prison. It's completely absurd. I know, but that's the type of stuff you get on a Pen and Shank, the most unusual and unique crime and prison-related channel on YouTube. So if you ask me if I think Honky Feet's nickname was funny, then I would say yes, it's funny. It was funny when dudes in prison, you do everything you can to pass the time with laughing and joking. That's a reality. In Louisiana prisons, there's a lot of capping, ribbing, making fun of people, whatever you can to pass the time. Look, I got picked. If whoever you can get your laugh on, that's what you get laugh on. So dudes used to get their laughs off on Honky Feet. You know what I mean? Like I said, dude looked like he had a pair of white socks on, and that's it. That's just the way it was. The guards even used to mess with people. You know what I mean? It's get it how they say, get it how you live. So dudes say Honky Feet had them socks on. He walked around with them socks. And that's just one of many crazy prison nicknames that I have. Give me a like and subscribe and go check out the rest of my videos where you might, you're going to laugh at some of the nicknames and some of the characters I met while I was in prison, man. Give me a like and subscribe. Let's get this.